Hi and welcome to the Pyramid Show, brought to you by the kind sponsorship of Zypes. And this afternoon, we look at quality waterproofing in construction waste. Now, water have adverse effect on most of these construction waste, namely, you're talking about buildings, the basement, septic tanks, storage tanks, swimming pools, etc. The big question is, how do we protect and treat most of these buildings from the havoc of these waters? This and more we have upcoming your way this afternoon. In the meantime, let me tell you about this juicy offer Star Properties is giving. Star Properties, in conjunction with Advanced Construction and Development, have over 100 built custom homes tailored to your heart desires. Star Properties is offering high-speed MTN fiber internet connectivity. Also, they have 3 recreational parks within their vicinity. It means that you don't necessarily have to travel outside Accra to have that experience of vacation. You can also have the experience of boating on the water within this vicinity. Above all, it is a 24/7 security, guarded vicinity with a gated enclave. So for this and more, you wouldn't want to go anywhere than Lakeside City Committee 8, that is Estate. So call us on this number, 050-127-9284, 050-127-9284, or send us an email, that is viglo@silverstartowers.com, viglo@silverstartowers.com, or visit our website, silverstartowers.com. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. The show returns shortly. You are welcome back. My name is Emmanuel Owusu Ansah. Once again, this is the Pyramid Show, your #1 tele construction guy show. In the studio with me are the brightest minds on this subject, that is quality waterproofing in construction work. On my left is Mr. Godfred Ampofo. He is a project manager. He works with Skatecom Ghana Limited. And on my far left, that is Fred Obobi. He's also a project manager with Skatecom Ghana Limited. Gentlemen, thank you for your time. Let me begin with this question. What is waterproofing and what is the importance of it? Fred.
Okay. Waterproofing is a process of making a structure water resistant so that it remains relatively unaffected by water. Or in simple terms, I would say waterproofing is making a structure resist the ingress of water.
Okay, yes, it's of no doubt that water causes a lot of problems, especially here in Ghana. You see a lot of rising downs on most buildings. You see a lot of leakages on secret roofs, concrete roofs. Even with where we stand, the polytanks, you see a lot of issues of water around there. In some instances, you see even the green molds beginning to develop around these areas. And let's talk about, that is what they call the manhole, the right where the septic tank. Even with the manhole, you find quite a number of Ghanaian residents dislodging at a frequency that is not supposed to be so, because you have water seeping from the sides of the wall coming in, and even with swimming pools. So my question is, of what importance and at what point should one consider waterproofing of a construction work?
Okay.
Go for it.
All right, I'll take that. Right on the word go, once you conceive of even putting up a structure, you need to factor waterproofing. Because it is one thing when you ignore, you're going to pay a very, you pay for it big time. So we have a series of waterproofing materials on the market. We do have this membrane, and we do have cementitious products as well. So you need to speak to, what do you call them, your structural engineer or a professional to really guide you on the right material to use. Yes, so right from the word go, once you conceive of the idea of putting up a septic tank or any water holding structure, you need to factor waterproofing.
Okay, now Fred, I mentioned quite a few of, structures or construction ways that you have to consider critically doing waterproofing. You would want to add on to these ones I mentioned. I mentioned buildings. I spoke about the basement for these buildings. Can you add on?
Buildings, okay. For basements, for swimming pools.
Swimming pools.
And then for foundations.
Foundations of buildings.
Yes, foundations of buildings. underground tanks, underground water tanks, overhead water tanks.
You mean reservoirs?
Reservoirs, yes. You know, and quite a lot, you know.
So on our screen, we are seeing a construction work ongoing where we have the pad foundations and the retaining walls being waterproof. So that's what we mean when we say waterproofing. And the gentlemen in the studio are going to tell us. On your screen again, what you see is a concrete roof that is being waterproof. So you see the men in the working gear applying waterproof chemicals on them so that they can hold back. And this is the basement. This is a look of how a basement looks like. Yeah. The gentlemen in the studio are going to explain to us the essence of applying these waterproof materials against them. So fantastic one. We've gotten to know these items and structures that we need to waterproof. But I wanted to know, if one fails to waterproof these structures, what are some of the effects that will happen? Go for it.
Okay, so waterproofing of wet areas, it's very important, yes, when it comes to when you have building in mind, because the reason why it's important that it has its own health benefits and amenities as well. The aim of waterproofing is to prevent water seeping into your structure, which most of the time it causes a discomfort. Yes. You wouldn't, no structural person would want to have a structure that is really leaking or that is
damaged by
water. Exactly, yes, exactly the point. And you really need waterproof.
So Fred, adding on the essence, the importance why we need to waterproof.
See, when you don't waterproof a structure, one, it weakens the structure.
How does it weaken the structure?
Because water is going to attack the structure. So it weakens the structure. The water is going to weaken the structure. It is going to affect your reinforcement.
You mean iron rods, as we said?
It will affect your reinforcement. And then you have cracks, and then, you know, anything, it will reduce the lifespan of the building as well. And then it will affect your appearance as well. Because when when a building is being attacked by water, you see this brownish exposures on the surface and all that.
Okay.
You understand? So it affects appearance as well.
Okay, so you are still live on JoyNews television. If you just join us today, we are looking at quality waterproofing in most construction works. Now, my question for you today is that if you've ever had the experience of rising down and that of leakages, you're talking about wet walls within your washrooms and the kitchens, I would want to know, how did you solve it? Is it still persistent? Are you struggling to get an answer or to arrest the situation? So tell me about it by sending me an SMS or a WhatsApp on 0500 180 697, 0500 180 697. Now remember to add your name and where you're testing from. You can even support it with a very good picture and make sure it is very brief. So gentlemen, thank you about the importance of why we need to apply waterproofing product. And like the brother said, we have the membrane, then we have the cementitious. That is good. But my next question I am asking is this. With most waterproofing that takes place, it's almost as if we are looking at just to arrest that is dampness, but we do not know there are other areas that we need to apply these waterproofing materials to protect the buildings. Is that the case, Fred? So what I'm asking is that when you talk about waterproofing, the normal person thinks that, oh, you have to just protect the base of the house. You don't have to pay attention to the wet areas in the building. You don't have to pay attention when you are constructing that is a dam or a bridge. I want you to throw more light on the need to make sure that waterproofing is done even all the way to the polytank stand.
Okay. Waterproofing is done right from substructure to completion, like throughout the superstructure. Let's say if you have wet areas, like washrooms, you have balconies, you need to waterproof all those areas.
Why would I have to waterproof a balcony?
If you don't waterproof a balcony, you see, a balcony always, when it's exposed, it's a balcony. So definitely it will get a rain spout. that if not even a rain spout, it has a spout that maybe if you want to wash the area, the water will have to come down.
Okay.
You understand? So if you don't even waterproof around the pipe, you understand? Since the pipe is smooth, it doesn't normally how do I put it?
Harvest all the water.
It doesn't bond with the concrete. So definitely water is going to seep around the pipes. You understand? And you see when you go under the balconies, you see that water
is become damp.
Yes.
But let's talk about, with that said, yes, I'll come to you, Godfrey. With that said, you see these high-rise buildings, especially on the masonry walls, and because of the consistent rains, you are seeing bubbles probably coming out of the paintings and the plastering itself. What is causing that? Is it the rain or is poor painting and probably didn't get waterproofing on them? Godfrey.
Okay, so I'll throw more light on the wet areas as well. Okay, one general thing that we should know, concrete itself leak. Just like we have pores that we sweat from, concrete also has pores. And that is the more reason why you need waterproofing to block those pores. Once the structure is exposed to the weather, or even talk of a shower area,
okay,
yes, it has constant water, and as I have explained, it has pores as well. So once that water sits on the structure for a very long time, it finds its way into the concrete, and it will eventually affect the rebars, I mean the iron rods.
Okay.
And in effect, the iron rods also get corroded, and as well, your concrete will start falling off. So that is the most dangerous thing to forgo waterproofing. Yes.
Okay, so one of the dangerous things to do. Now let's talk about swimming pools. Let's talk about the septic tank, what we call manholes. Why do we need to waterproof it? And at what positions and points do we waterproof them?
All right. With septic tanks, after construction, let's say maybe you are living in a waterlogged area. So after construction, if you don't waterproof, groundwater will come from outside into the septic tank. So sometimes you find septic tanks that you haven't even used.
And yes, you are dislodging.
Yes, they are full of water. You understand? And then come to swimming pools. Swimming pools, you say they are made of a horizontal and a vertical joint. That is a horizontal concrete and a vertical concrete. So that joining, that corner, you understand? Whenever you feel it, there is a hydrostatic pressure. You understand? That is the pressure that comes from the top to the down. It's a fluid thing. So it's not with water, it's fluid. It's hydrostatic pressure is with fluid. Okay. You understand? So when you feel and then the pressure goes down, that joint is likely to open. So that is when sometimes you construct a swimming pool, you can feel it, and then within 2 days you see the water drops.
I see.
Yes, it is leaking.
Now, we've seen basements, okay? And we've seen concrete roofs, secret roofs, and most people complaining about leakages. How do you solve that? Do you break the entire structure down, reconstruct it again, or you can waterproof it? So this is a clear picture of a basement, and I see the sidewalls, you know, with the application of waterproof, and on the floor, that's the slab. Even with the columns standing in the beams suspended, you are seeing waterproofing made out of them. Godfrey, you want to explain to us why we do that?
Okay, so that was an existing structure that water find its way into. Then, yes, they invited a waterproofing expert to really conduct a thorough inspection and come up with a recommendation. This, if you want to use a bituminous product, then you have to do excavation all the way to the foundation before you can lay your membrane. So this, we came up with the Zypex approach. Zypex itself is a crystalline technology. What I mean by crystalline technology is that once you apply on any surface, it doesn't just stay there. It's crystallizing to the structure through the pores of the concrete. I've already mentioned that concrete has pores. So Zypex technology is such that once you apply, it seeps into those pores to seal it, to seal the pores and capillary tract. And once those are sealed, you wouldn't have any water ingress. So the picture you saw there, we use the Zypex approach system. Once we did the installation, that is the Zypex 2 coats of Zypex concentrate on the structure, it's free from any water.
Now, since you've begun the breakdown, the methodology of applying the waterproofing product, let me start with this. For most Ghanaians who are building, and even those beyond the borders of Ghana who are building, how are we supposed to apply the waterproofing product from, that is the excavation, all the way substructure to superstructure, even to the concrete roofing and the swimming pools? When do we start and how do we apply them?
All right. This waterproofing starts right after excavation. Your first pour, whether it's being...
So when you say your first pour, you mean once you cast in your concrete?
Yes, once you cast your concrete, whether it's, it's the blinding, it's the foundation itself, it's your columns. You see, you need to waterproof those areas because those areas are going to carry the building.
Okay.
So that is, we're talking of substructure. You waterproof the substructure. Okay. And then that means you are fortifying the substructure. So when the substructure is strong, now when you come up, after you do your backfill or your hardcore filling and all that, the overside concrete.
That's the slab, the floor.
Yes, the floor needs to be waterproofed as well. So then, from there, you can just raise your building. But if you are using a concrete roof, that needs to be waterproofed as well. Your wet areas has to be waterproofed as well. If you have balconies, those places have to be waterproofed as well.
Now, let me ask this question. In recent times, we see most people adhere to their education in an attempt to, mitigate the rising damp on their building. You see most people spread the black rubber, the membrane, on these hardcore fillings. Is that enough to avoid rising damp in these wet areas from developing on buildings?
And that is, I would say, it's relative. Those we call it DPMs. Once you lay a sheet, the possibility of you punching it when you pour at the cost of pouring concrete is very high. You can't really regulate that. So with that, I always advise you go in for a crystalline technology. Not that I'm into the crystalline technology, so I'm saying that with the crystalline technology, what it does is that it becomes part of your structure. Once the structure is in existence, it's also there. And it keeps growing stronger and stronger with contact of water because it helps, it needs water to form the crystals. And that too, it saves you time because you batch the concrete together with the waterproofing material.
So what you're trying to say is that when you are mixing the concrete, just as you mix the cement, the water, the chipping, you are also putting a measured volume of the waterproofing into it. So it comes out with the concrete. It dries with the concrete.
Exactly. And it saves you a lot of time to construction time, I mean to say.
And then after drying, it becomes part of the structure.
Okay.
Forever, it will be there. Not like other surface membrane products, which relies on their strength on the surface. You understand? That can deteriorate by exposure to the weather and all that. You understand?
Okay.
This one becomes part of the structure. So it will be there. Anytime water tries to attack the structure, the chemical reaction will start to stop the water.
Okay, so if you are suffering from leakages, if you are suffering from rising damp, and even wet areas, bubbles are almost showing up on your walls, with your walls falling away, peeling away the exposure of your iron rods, I would want to know, what have you done? What has been the many attempts you've been putting in place? Is it still persistent? Tell me the story. Share with me. Send me a WhatsApp and an SMS on 0500 180 697, 0500 180 697. Now remember to add your name and where you are testing from. Now, gentlemen, you've explained all this bit also to us, but let me come again with this question. Waterproofing. Okay, waterproofing. Once you do this particular kind of waterproofing at the foundation, is that all? I mean, is that all I have to do? Especially, can you even do this in a water-prone area? I mean, a waterlogged area. Can you do that? I think, Fred, you take that one first before I
okay.
go for
for waterproof areas, that is where you even need the waterproofing most.
So you think the crystalline technology even works?
Exactly.
In the water. I'm not going to see water seeping through the foundation walls.
No.
Even building in the middle of the sea.
No.
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 Yeah.
Go for it.
Yes, that is the truth. Zypex itself it reacts when it's in water.
Exactly.
It performs very well when it's in water. The key thing to here is it works with water. So when when you apply the Zypex material on any surface, I mean your beam, your concrete or block surface, you need to put water on it. You need to cure it for that reaction to really diffuse, for the chemical to diffuse into the concrete, the structure, I mean to say. Yes, so if you happen to build in a water-prone area, it is a plus to you because you need that water.
Now, that's interesting.
Yes.
With Zypex product, you should deliberately look for places with high water table.
Exactly so.
Build in the middle of the sea.
Exactly.
Yes.
Then you are achieving maximum benefit.
That is why when you apply, you still have to cure it.
Now, give me an example of such project in Accra. I know you guys have undertaken a number of huge projects in Accra, but give me an example where we had the basement, we had the water table, a waterlogged situation that you solved.
I'll say number one is Amenfi Plaza.
Amenfi Plaza.
Yeah.
Where does it sit?
Amenfi Plaza is next to the Papaya on the Spintex Road.
Okay.
Yes.
So on our screen in a bit, we will see the said Amenfi Plaza.
Yes.
Okay.
Plaza.
Okay. So what was the challenge with it?
The basement was full of water. They tried everything and they couldn't solve it. So then we went.
It was almost like a pool.
It was almost like a pool. So when we went there, we cleaned the area, did our waterproofing, and now they are using those places as offices.
They are using those places as
offices. Yeah.
Okay. Other testimonies you can share with us?
You can
go for it.
Yeah, okay. It's very interesting. Okay.
Now, I understand. Okay, go on. Go on.
Okay, so I'll say I don't really remember the
Another
dates.
one is SGI.
SGI.
SGI is next close to Signature Building.
Yes.
Around Shashi.
Yes.
And what was the problem with SGI?
The same thing, like Amenfi Plaza. Yes.
It was the basement.
It was the basement. And then we solved the problem as well.
But now let's talk about concrete roofs, secret roofs, and a lot of leakage. Go on, go for it.
I would want to add up. Very interested. I want to share this projects that we did for the desalination plants. That is the seawater desalination plants at Nungwa.
Yeah.
Yes. They had very challenge on their gallery. They have this is an underground gallery that they store their machines, I mean pumps and stuff. And for a very long time they were having water challenges. You know, it's very close to the sea.
Yeah.
And mind you, Zypex 2 is pH specific. So with salt and things, Zypex is able to fight it. It doesn't have issue with it at all. Yes, so they were.
So even when you are constructing close to the sea,
you don't.
And you apply Zypex waterproofing.
Yes.
It takes care of the corrosion.
Yes,
the iron also said
because it's pH specific. Yes. So they were having water ingress, water gushing into their machines. Yes, we are not part of the project though, but upon several conversations with architects and structural engineers, they mentioned Zypex, of which we attend to them. We did our assessment and they invited us on board. Once you're able to fix this, we'll give you other tanks or other areas to work. Within 2-3 days, we were able to fix those ones for them, of which they top us up with many other tanks. Yes, and Asogli.
Asogli. What happened at Asogli?
Asogli, it's a power plant.
These are mega projects you guys have.
Asogli is a mega. It's a power plant.
Okay.
So they use the seawater to cool their machines. So they are what was the name? What is
a cooling tower.
They are cooling tower. Yeah. Since they use the seawater, the salt was destroying the tower. You understand? Making the concrete come off. It was affecting the reinforcement and all those things. So we had to go in and solve those problems.
Now, I love that expression. We have to go in so much confidence in your product. But again, you've spoken extensively about, you know, waterproofing against basement, foundation. Let's talk about other areas like the wet walls. You're talking about the concrete in general, swimming pools. And I would want you to give me evidences, big jobs that you've done with all these applications made, so that I can go have a look at them.
Okay, so I'll touch that as well. That is also back at 2007, or 2017, respectively. Yeah, we did this job for other projects. That is Akemodan Water Expansion Projects, and
that's for Ghana Water Company.
For Ghana Water Company, yes, and with their clarifiers and the filters, if I say, and raw water tank. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Raw water tank as well. With them, they finished the whole construction, and they were about handing over. But once they put water in the tank, it drops.
It drops.
Every time they check, it drops. So then they still have to, upon. That is one thing with Zypex. Our contracts always come by referral because of its effectiveness. Yes. So they came to us. What we were doing for them is that we said, we won't charge you if you want to test the Zypex product, because it's your first time.
Okay.
And we really
like
understand. Yes, a test job for them. We will commence this deal with you once we finish with the tank. And yes, it's a clarifier, and it's a very big one. It's a huge one. I don't know if you've ever visited any of the Ghana Water sites. Okay. You would appreciate what I'm saying. It's a big tank. So we did our installation. They test it. Then once it's watertight, they pay us.
Okay. Okay. Now, Fred, let me know. Tell me about the many products you have, as and when you apply these products, and the precautions with applying them.
Okay. For now, we say Zypex. We have 4. We have the Zypex concentrate. We have the, okay, let me explain, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
Zypex concentrate is a slurry coat application. You see, Zypex product all comes in powder, but with a concentrate, you mix with water at a ratio, and you brush apply with a lime brush, not any ordinary brush.
Okay.
We have a lime brush that you use or you spray, but the spraying we don't do that here.
Okay, yes. So tell us some of the defects that will make you apply a Zypex concentrate.
Okay, when you have a leaking roof.
A leaking roof?
Yes, when you have a leaking roof. You see, Zypex is for repair, protection, and then for...
repair, protection.
Yes, it's for repair, waterproofing, repair, and protection.
Okay.
So even if the roof is not leaking, you want to protect it. After a concrete roof, you can apply.
Is it even with aluminium roofing, or is it supposed to be concrete?
It's supposed to be concrete.
Okay. How do you apply it? Assuming maybe in the time past, I've applied other, chemicals in trying to solve it, and now I realize that still the problem is persistent. If I get Zypex waterproofing product, do I apply it straight, or it's not done? Okay.
The Zypex material doesn't work on any other material. It works directly on the primary concrete. So if you already have an existing waterproofing on the structure, being your roof or any concrete area, you first need to take off that the existing waterproofing before we can help you with a Zypex installation.
Okay. So how are they applied? How is it applied, the Zypex product?
By brush.
The concentrate.
The concentrate by
So
brush.
if I have a rising dam situation on my wall,
yes.
Do I just apply it on it, or I have to?
Rising dam situations, you take off the plaster.
Okay.
On the wall.
So you take away the plastering on the wall.
You take away the plastering on the wall.
As we see in the video there, you go on.
Yes. You take the plastering off like this.
Yes.
Wash the walls. And then you mix your concentrate, apply on the walls.
Okay.
Before you reinstate your plaster.
Okay. Are you just going to plaster just like that, or
when plastering to be easy? When in dampness situations, we advise that when you are reinstating the plaster, you use river sand together with additive. that is the admix C1000NF, to reinstate the plaster. So then, when you do that, you are double sure that the real job has been done.
And what's the story? Once I'm done with this, am I not going to see it resurface again? Never again?
So that is when we do the work for you, we can give you a warranty on it.
Warranty?
Yes. But people come to buy the product and they want to go do it themselves. If you do it yourself, I won't give you a warranty because I don't know who is going to do for you, whether the person did the right thing or not. So when I do for you, I give you a warranty. When you come to buy the material and you do it. So mostly, we don't normally sell the material. Yes, to ordinary people, because somebody, that is when somebody might say, Zypex is not working on this, that. You talk a lot. It's the application. You didn't do it well. So if you want a warranty on it, you come to us. We apply for you, and we give you a warranty.
Now, talk of a warranty, Godfrey, let me ask you this question. How long does a Zypex waterproofing stay on concrete? How long?
Okay, I'll say forever.
The lifespan?
Yes, I'll say forever. Yes, and I can attest to it because it's a crystalline technology, and once you apply, it becomes part of the structure itself. It's in there, and Zypex is active, or it reacts whenever there is contact of water. The only time that you see a structure that has been waterproof with Zypex fill is when you have a structural defect. I mean, a very deep crack from the structure perspective. Yes, that we'll have to come back and reinstate it for you.
Okay, now talking, you mentioned cracks, and
yes.
Cracks is something that troubles a lot of building. Do you use Zypex to treat cracks?
Yes, we use Zypex to treat cracks, but the problem is, you see, let me put it this way.
Okay.
Zypex is not magic. Nobody can just wake up and say, I am going to cast a useless concrete, and Zypex is going to solve my problem for me. You understand? You can't just cast any concrete anyhow and expect Zypex to solve your problem for you. When your structure fails, Zypex will fail you.
When your structure fails, yes, Zypex is going to fail. So it's most important, very prudent, that you also pay attention to how you get the job done. Quality construction is always advised. At this moment, we'll be taking a break. When we return, we bring you more. Thank you for staying with us. Audrey Dushikafu is here with all that you've been saying so far.
Will also fill you. That's why we're asking you to share with us your concerns and thoughts on how you treated the challenges with regards to leakages and wet walls on your building. So you can join our interactivity by sending in messages to us on Twitter at @pyramid_show, and then on WhatsApp or SMS. The number is 0500-180-697. So our first comments for the day is coming from Marcus from Bichim. I want to know more about the causes of painting defects. My question is, can waterproof materials be applied after plastering? There is water in my wall in the room that makes the paint peel off. What do I do? Good afternoon. Please, do you have some for ordinary roofing, locally called Inchensing? Good afternoon, sir. Please, does salt have an effect on building structures, and what is the solution for it? I'm David from Midyear. My interior paint keeps peeling off despite covering the foundation with DPM before pouring the overside concrete. Can something be done at this stage? So you can still send in messages to us on WhatsApp. The number is 0500-180-697. Good afternoon. Coming from Charles from Adam. I have a plot of land at waterlogged area. How do I put my foundation before building on? I'm always worried when it rains and deciding to sell the land. A very insightful interview. Thank you. I'm happy to learn about the essence of waterproofing. Coming from Eugene from Tech. Good afternoon. Please, what paints and cements could I use to solve waterproof problems? I will use it in my manhole, bathroom, rooftop, concrete platform. Message coming from Kayla at Anya. After doing what is normally known as flow, after a year, can you still use the Zypes on the floor? Will it be effective? There is water in my wall and that makes the paint peel off. What do I do? Please, sir, my name is Emmanuel Owusu. My question is, can you apply Zypes to the wall before you plaster the walls? Please, if I may ask, how much does it cost to use the waterproofing technology or chemical? Is it expensive? Kofi from Community 22 Tema. How do you use Zypes on existing walls with damp rising? The bottom part of my building wall is always wet and the painting around these places have peeled off. What do I do? Coming from Emmanuel from Asaman Kese. Good afternoon, sir. Please, can your panel give further explanation as to how this waterproofing material works, since it is not a barrier? Does it fill the pores in the concrete or how? So somebody is showing a picture of his walls. Please, good afternoon. My name is Kojo White from Adenta. I'm having this problem. How do I solve it? So you can follow us on our socials, Facebook 360mediagh.net, Twitter @thepyramid_show, and then engage us on our WhatsApp and SMS. Number is 0500-180-697. So that will be all for the interactive segment.
So much for this submission. Audrey, we've been talking about that is swimming pools. I would want to know, do you have a swimming pool in your house and what is the situation? Do you have leakages or, I mean, what happens? Do you have a swimming pool? Audrey, you do not have a swimming pool. I
have a swimming pool.
Where do you have your swimming pool?
It's on the rooftop. Have you ever been to the rooftop of my house? It's there. It's on the rooftop.
I mean, gentlemen, at this point, you know, once it becomes back and forth per experience, we just want to say, okay, thank you very much. I'm okay with that. She says she has a swimming pool at the top of the roof. Now, let's talk about swimming pools.
Are you sure?
Fred, okay, Fred, look at me. Okay, Fred, be with me. So now with swimming pools at the top of roofs, okay, is that doable? Because most of the times it's just buried in the ground.
No.
Fred.
Okay. All right. So, yes, you know, technology keeps evolving. And now you can actually put a swimming pool on roof.
So Audrey is not lying.
Yeah, it's not lying. It's workable. And we've done...
You guys are just trying to support
No, we've done a couple of it.
She's not lying, but she doesn't have it.
A typical example will be the signature building.
Okay.
You know, we have
you guys worked on the signature building?
Exactly, yes. Right from our foundation. So that we dose the Zypes additive, which is Zypes.
So the signature building in a bay to be shown on the screen, just for people to know, that's the signature building sitting right at Shashi. Yeah. Okay, go on.
All right. So
you use Zypes product on the building?
We use Zypes products. That we use a Zypes additive, which is the Zypes Admix C1000 NF for the concrete. I mean the raft foundation and retaining walls and also the roofs, balconies and other wet areas.
No, thank you.
Yes.
I get
and
it.
Also the swimming pool.
Also, I mean, Audrey is saying she has a swimming pool.
She doesn't have.
Fred, have you been to Audrey's house?
Where do you stay?
So
where is your house?
Fred, so you look at me here. Now, this is it. Some few questions that came in.
Okay.
One wants to know, after, you know, casting the slab, construction of the house, it's been over a year, probably 50 years. Can you apply Zypes when you see all these challenges?
Is it about a concrete roof?
The concrete roof, concrete slab, or the concrete element?
So one, I'll say we have to come and examine it. One, that is one. Probably maybe there has been a water seepage for a very long time and the structure is weak.
Yes.
You understand? So when we come to examine it, then we can diagnose.
Okay, so there was this other question that said, is Zypes, can it be applied before, I mean, plastering on the side?
That is what Zypes wants, you know.
Okay.
You see, okay, let me talk much on this. When you want to build, I think when you want to build your foundation concrete, you put Zypes there. You understand that is the C1000NF, your foundation concrete. And then you can still use the C1000NF for your mortar work. That is when you are building the foundation walls, whether being concrete or being block work. So after you've done with the foundation walls, you can still apply concentrate around the walls before you backfill.
Okay.
So after backfilling and you do your hardcore filling, you still use the C1000NF to do your oversight.
Okay.
When you use the C1000 for your oversight, you don't need this membrane thing, this rubber, this layer. You don't need it.
Okay.
Because you see those rubbers and stuff, when you cast in your concrete consists of stones. It might easily be punctured. And when it punctures, definitely you're going to have a problem.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So after that level, when you start with your main building walls, at least after you've done with the oversight, you've done your main building walls.
Okay. So on our screens are typical cases of rising dam. And so with what we see right now, what would be the action you would take? Are you going to just apply it, just explain with the screen?
No.
With the picture on your screen?
We will take off the plaster.
You will take off the plaster?
Yes.
Including the picture? Yes. Sorry, the painting?
The paint, yes.
And this was what one of our viewers also said. So you do away with the plastering as its assistant?
Exactly.
Okay.
And then we apply on the block work.
So you expose it to get the block work.
Exactly.
Then you apply
on the block work.
On the block work.
Cure it for some days because Zypex works with water. So the more you cure, the more it travels into the structure.
Okay.
So when it travels into the structure, it forms something like a glass film in the structure. So then you need time. When we apply, you cure for some time, and then you reinstate your plaster.
Okay, now let's talk about aggressive chemicals like acid. You were talking about chemicals in hospitals. You are talking about the breweries, and there's a lot of spillage on the ground. Would Zypex survive in such an environment?
Yes, I mentioned earlier on that Zypex is pH specific. So Zypex is able to fight all chemicals that range from 0, that is 3.0 to 11.0.
Okay.
Yes, that is mild acid and solvents and chloride.
But is Zypex toxic? Is it harmful?
No. It's non-toxic.
It's non-toxic?
It's non-toxic. Yes.
Zypex is non-toxic. That is why it is being recommended by most of the health facilities and then the water bodies or water.
Now, you are talking about water bodies. You mentioned Ghana Water and their major constructions, you waterproofing them. In a bit again, we shall see the pictures. Now, doing such projects, okay, what really happens that is differently from what we experience with our septic tanks, that's the manholes and reservoirs? What is so different that is able to hold the water?
Okay, waterproofing in itself, the explanation is forming a barrier so water will not be able to penetrate. Okay. So once you've been able to form that barrier in a concrete, there wouldn't be any seepage of water, and that is what the Zypex does. Considering the volume of water that goes into a whole Ghana water tank, you can.
So please, what project was this?
This is an STP tank for Newmont, that is New Abrim.
New Abrim.
Yes, STP simply means sewage treatment plant.
Okay, so let me understand this. In the construction of our manholes, reservoirs, our polytanks, does that mean once we lay the concrete, we cast the concrete, we construct the block work? Am I supposed to make sure I have waterproofing around, the perimeter, the outside barrier, the envelope?
It could be outside, it could be inside.
It could be outside. Even where you have the dislodge, that's the fecal matter staying in the manhole. You can still apply the waterproofing inside the manhole.
When you've already used the manhole, that means you just have to dislodge it, clean it before we can work in it.
Okay, so if I have a challenge with my manhole, I should dislodge it, I should clean it, or you come over to clean it?
No, you clean it.
Why should I clean it? It's part of the job. No. So I should clean it.
It is your own thing that was in there.
The main thing is Zypex work both ways. Either negative or the positive side of the structure. So there's a typical example of a swimming pool that was leaking. That swimming pool is for this hotel, Holiday Inn.
You've done waterproofing there?
Yeah, it's a hanging.
They are water.
I think I have to see you guys. It looks like almost all the high-rise buildings within Ghana you've touched on that.
Almost every one of them. When you go to Airport City, almost every one of them.
I mean, with the case of Holiday Inn, I'm trying to throw more light on the negative, positive effect. They had finished with their tiling work in the swimming pool, everything, and they realized it was leaking. After filling the water,
now I'm going to make you end the holiday story, but let me hold you down a bit. So the phone line is activated, the number on your screen, call in and also make your submission concerning the discussion that is ongoing here in the studio. Now, before the lack of time, let's hold on with the Holiday Inn. I know you've done mega project. That's the Elizabeth.
Yes.
So you also did waterproofing on that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we've asked the question about its toxicity, and you are telling us that
it's non-toxic.
It's non-toxic. Now, there was this question of the peeling plaster. What can Zypex waterproofing do to resolve that?
Okay. So, what is really happening there is humidity.
Okay.
Yes, you have water rising from the ground to, that is from the substructure to the superstructure.
Okay.
That is causing those peeling. It's because it didn't factor waterproofing or rising damp treatment. Those are
so with that condition, it can still be corrected?
Yes, it can. With that too, the methodology is that you take off the plaster, I mean the existing plaster, you go around the periphery of the building, I mean excavation, you get to the foundation, then you treat with the Zypex concentrate.
We're going to have that. Yeah. But let me talk to Daniel. Hello, Daniel from Pantine.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please, I have...
Go on, Daniel. Hello, Daniel.
Hello.
Okay, go on, Daniel.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Okay, unfortunately, we've lost Daniel. Do call back. So when you call, please volume down, tone down your set so that we do not get negative feedbacks here in the studio. So on our screen, we are seeing the Zypex application on a damp wall. It clearly is being removed as the plastered area, and I'm seeing the concentrate being applied. Okay, so let's go back to the peeling of the plaster.
Yes, so I said you take off the existing plastering. Then on the periphery of your building, you do excavation to the foundation. Then you can apply the Zypex concentrate, and once you've been able to cure it for 3 days. Recommended period for curing is 3 days.
3 days.
Yes. So once you're done with that, then you can reinstate the plastering. You wait for it to dry, then you put back your painting. And you wouldn't have those issues of peeling again.
No, now from Thaka we have IT Amwa. Hello, IT.
I.J. Amwa from Takrady.
I.J. Amwa from Takrady. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, I mean from town, the only town in the whole Ghana.
I get it. I get it.
Okay, very thank you for bringing these guys on board to discuss the very problem most Ghanaians are facing. I know from them, if somebody has a building, I mean concrete roof, a floor, concrete floor, or a floor.
You can call it slab.
Yeah.
Come again?
Go ahead. Slab.
Yeah, and it leaks, or if it doesn't leak, you can see that there's water marks whenever it rains on the wall, on the roof. Is that possible that the product can be used to solve such a problem?
Thank you very much, IJ. So, his simple questions, watermarks on the side of the walls and on the roof, and also leakage through the concrete roof, secret roof. Fred?
Parapet wall.
Okay.
Yes, the Zypex products will be able to suffice that for him.
And how are you going to attend to that?
Okay, so that if he already have an existing screed on the slab, we'll have to take the existing screed off. Then we'll use the Zypex concentrate to treat. First, we'll inspect whether it has hairline cracks and other structural defects, we repair all those ones before we put the Zypex slurry on that, and it will be free from leak.
Okay, so from Ebre we have Francis. Hello, Francis.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. I've been watching your program, and then the guys over there, they have worked for me before. I know them very well.
Did they do a good job?
You there?
So what do you have to say about what they did?
Then it was my it was my roofing, and this thing, it was leaking, and the way they came and then do it, I appreciate them.
Oh, really?
Thank you.
Yeah,
okay.
Thank you guys.
Okay, so...
Nani, this goes from a brief.
Okay.
Okay, that's a good report. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay. So tell us, I think you've spoken about the concentrate. Any other product and how it's applied?
So we have the concentrate and we have the modified. The modified works like the concentrate, but in water retaining structures, you need a double coat application. That is the concentrate first coat and the modified as a second coat. That is when you need the modified. And then in most cases, we can still use the modified for dampness issues. You understand? So apart all that, so the concentrate and the modified are slurry coat applications.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay.
And then we have the additive, that is the C1000NF for mortar and concrete. And then we have the patch and plug. The patch and plug is mainly for joints.
Okay.
Like horizontal, vertical joints.
Now you'll be giving me the details, but let me talk to Mohammed from Secondary. Hello, Mohammed.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Please, hello?
Go on.
Yeah, please. My problem has to do with, we have the concrete. In Secondary, our buildings are all concrete roofing. And there's a concrete roofing. So when it rains, you could see it's leaking in from inside the room. It's dripping. So would their product be, how can their product help? It's an already existing building that is leaking. Like a 10-year-old building. Like that.
Okay. So on our screen, we are seeing your workmen using their products. Yeah. Is that a roof?
That's a roof.
Guess what Mohammed is saying?
Yes, that's it.
Now, Mohammed's question is that is over 10 years. Does Zyper still work? Waterproofing?
Yes. Zypers can still work on a roof that is 10 years. But Fred said earlier that we will have to inspect the slab itself.
Now, you've been talking about inspection. Means we have to call you.
Yes.
What are your numbers?
Put it there. 0243 42 61 71.
0243
0243 42 61 71 or 0208 11 0328.
Okay, so where do we find you?
Okay, we are located at Abraka, close to Coral Paint.
Close to Coral Paint. Okay, hello Gideon from Sunyani.
Yes. I'm watching the program and I reside in Sunyani.
Okay.
And I want to know how accessible will it be if I want to maybe link them to maybe set up an office in Sunyani, because you go around Sunyani, you see a lot of those things, but people are not so much exposed as to the product. And I want to know what links do I get so that I can talk behind the scene and see if you can put up an office there and to solve this requested serious problem here in Sunyani.
Okay, thank you very much. So he wants to actually do business with you. Okay. I think you just have to repeat your contact numbers. If you have any other matters to discuss with them, just call them on the number. Please repeat the number.
0243 426171.
Again.
0243
okay
426171.
Now,
and 0208 11 0328.
Now, for the purposes of the show, even when we are done live with this broadcast, you can still send us a WhatsApp asking them of their contact or any information. They are still going to respond to you.